Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle something that can look a little intimidating at first, multiplying fractions. But trust me, it's actually one of the simplest things you can do in math. Stick around, and you'll be a total pro by the end of this.
All right, let's dive right in with a problem you've probably seen a bunch of times. Something like, what is 3/4 of 20? Now, the whole secret to cracking this thing wide open is that tiny little word in the middle, of. So what's it really doing there?
Okay, here's the first big secret, the pro tip you need to know. Whenever you see the word of in a math problem like this, it's basically just a secret code for multiply. Yep, that's it. So 3/4 of 20 just becomes 3/4 times 20. Easy, right? So let's start with part 1, fractions and whole numbers. We're going to break down exactly how to handle multiplying a fraction by a whole number. And just so you know, this stuff comes straight from the Cambridge Stage 7 curriculum, so you're building a really solid foundation here. Now, the very first step is super simple, but it's absolutely crucial. See, to multiply fractions, well, you need two fractions. And luckily, turning a whole number into a fraction is maybe one of the easiest things you'll ever do in math. Literally, all you have to do is take any whole number, an integer, right? And just pop it over the number 1. That's it. So the number 5, that becomes 5 over 1. The number 20, that's 20 over 1. The value doesn't change at all, but now it's in a format we can actually work with. Okay, so let's put that little trick into action. What if we have to solve, say, 2/3 times 5? Well, now we know what to do, right? We just rewrite it as 2/3 times, you got it, 5 over 1. And this is where the magic happens. It's so easy. You just multiply the top numbers, the numerators, straight across. So 2 times 5 gives us 10. Then you do the exact same thing for the bottom numbers, the denominators. 3 times 1 is 3. And there's our answer, 10 over 3. Simple as that. Okay, so we've got fractions and whole numbers down. Now for part 2, the universal fraction rule. This is the rule that works for multiplying any two fractions, no matter what they are. And you know what? It's the exact same rule we just used. This is it, the one and only rule you need to remember. Multiply the tops, multiply the bottoms. Seriously, that's the whole thing. Let's put this golden rule to the test with a real example. This one's from a Cambridge Lower Secondary specimen paper. The problem is, work out 3 over 11 times 5 over 22. Looks a little more complicated, but is it? Let's see. Nope, not complicated at all. We just followed the rule. Tops first, 3 times 5 is 15. Easy. Now the bottoms. 11 times 22, that's 242. So our final answer is 15 over 242. See? The rule works every single time. It really is that straightforward. All right, hang on, we're not quite finished. Getting the answer is great, but there's one more step to make it a truly perfect A+ answer. Let's talk about part 3, always simplify your answer. So look at this. This really shows what I mean. If you multiply 2/5 by 1/6, you get 2/30. And hey, that's technically the right number. But it's not the best answer. We can simplify this. Both 2 and 30 can be divided by 2, right? So we divide them and we get 1 over 15. Now that's the clean, final answer your teacher is looking for. So why do we bother simplifying? Well, a few reasons. First, it just makes the answer clearer and easier to understand. It's all about finding what we call the simplest equivalent fraction. It's also a key skill, something they specifically look for in the Cambridge curriculum. Basically, think of it as putting the final polish on your work. It shows you know what you're doing. Okay, that was a lot to go through, but it really just boils down to a few simple, powerful ideas. Let's pull it all together with your key takeaways. So here it is, your complete toolkit for multiplying fractions. Let's run down the checklist. Number 1, remember that of almost always means multiply. Number 2, any whole number can become a fraction just by putting it over 1. Number 3, the golden rule, you know it, multiply the tops, then multiply the bottoms. And finally, number 4, don't forget to tidy up. Always, always simplify your answer. And getting a good handle on these steps is so important. Seriously, fractions aren't just a one-off topic. They are a fundamental building block for pretty much all the more advanced math you're going to do, like algebra. If you can master this, you're building a super strong foundation, and that's going to give you a ton of confidence to tackle whatever comes next. So, there you have it. You can now multiply fractions. But That leaves us with a really interesting question, doesn't it? What happens when you need to divide them? Now that is a whole other story, and something to think about for next time.